Please welcome AJ Shavetta, Teddy Dosher, and Bill Florent.
Hello. I'm AJ Shavetta. This is Bill Florent. We're part of the founding team of Selequity, where access creates opportunity for real estate investors. So we've all probably heard stories about people making money in commercial real estate. But why aren't more of us invested in income-producing property? Well, antiquated laws have made real estate investing an insider's game. The Securities Act of 1933 said that you could only raise private capital from people that you knew. And because of this old law, the way we directly invest in real estate has changed little in 82 years. It's still offline, inefficient, and very expensive. The Jobs Act changed the rules, allowing real estate owners to raise money for more people. But the real estate industry hasn't had an effective way to capitalize on this new opportunity. Well, until now, until Selequity, because we have created a complete solution to end the insider's game and change the way we directly invest in real estate. We solve problems on both sides of a real estate investment with a platform built on our founding team's experience in managing more than $100 billion in real estate transactions. We help real estate owners and investors efficiently connect, share critical information, manage a transaction, and track an ongoing investment. We enable the country's 8 million accredited investors to better participate in an $11 trillion asset class by bringing the ease of online trading to real estate investing. Let's meet Toby. Toby owns a commercial real estate company, and like many of you, when he wants to grow his business, he needs access to capital. Let's switch to the demo and show you how at Selequity we help provide that access. First, Toby applies, and we review information about his track record and his project before accepting any application. Once accepted, he can begin to build his deal page. So here, he's proposing an investment in an office building, the soon-to-be world headquarters of Selequity. He provides information about his project and its key features, like the Selequity Health Club and swimming pool. And the information that Toby provides is uniquely tailored to the type of real estate. So we know that the information that's important for an office building is different than that from, say, a shopping center. Toby can also provide important location information, such as nearby transit and other amenities. We help Toby and his advisors provide the kinds of information that investors need to make educated investment decisions. Once his deal page is complete, Toby can manage and track his investment and communicate with his investors using his deal dashboard. Now, let me introduce Kate. Kate's an attorney, and she works in one of Toby's buildings, and she would love to diversify her portfolio into real estate. But Toby and Kate don't know each other, so she's never had access to his opportunities. Now she does. As an accredited investor, Kate can establish an account on Selequity and browse investment opportunities to decide which ones she'd like to review in more detail. Here, she'd like to have more information about Toby's project. And she starts with the dashboard of the most important information. She has access to all the information that Toby's provided about his project. She can do a dive into the financials, reviewing detailed statements, or take a deeper dive into the transaction summary, downloading the private placement memorandum, and other investor documents. Once Kate decides to make an investment, she uses our online transaction management process, which provides tools for investor verification, document signing, and secure funding. When her investment's complete, Kate can track her investment on our investor reports. So investor relations are difficult for many private real estate companies because their primary core business is focused on finding and managing great properties. So we provide templates and tools to allow real estate owners to provide sophisticated reports to investors. And we make these tools available to owners both raising capital and other owners just looking for a better way to manage their investor relations. Let's switch back to the slides. and show you why our team is uniquely situated to help shape the future of this new marketplace. So our founding team includes the former CEO, CFO, and legal team from the country's largest privately held real estate services company. We've worked together for 25 years, and together we built that company from a small local broker to a national full-service firm with 4,000 employees in 60 offices. We're going to use our national connections of thousands of real estate owners and investors to build our user base. And of course, sophisticated owners like Toby will want to engage their broadest network and local communities. So combining these networks with broad industry marketing and local marketing will build users on both sides of our marketplace. Selequity charges real estate owners raising capital a technology access fee and recurring fees for the use of our investor relations platform. We do not charge investors. We're changing the game by doing what our team's always done best, providing leading-edge services and products to the real estate industry. So get in the game. We launched our beta site today. Please visit Selequity.com and sign up for your account. Thank you very much.
All right. Great job. Judges, any of you want to jump in?
Sure. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, great job on the presentation.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about, is there anything in this for property owners besides capital?
Well, the investor relations platform we think is very, very interesting to the property owners that we've talked to because it's just a historically tough problem for property owners to manage investor relations, particularly in private real estate transactions.
Mm-hmm. How many investors are there typically per project?
Well, it really will determine based on the size of the capital raise, but we think it will probably be, in the tens, not hundreds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about the competitive landscape? There's been a number of companies launched in the real estate crowdfunding space, kind of broadly defined, and how you guys differentiate and anything about barriers to entry, and then tactically talk a little bit about equity versus debt and where your financing fits in terms of other financing options. Do you expect this to be the only capital for an individual project, a part of the capital stack? Would love to understand kind of that tactically and then strategically competitive differentiation.
Sure. So competitive differentiators, we believe that this marketplace is really going to develop based on quality projects and valuable services. And that really is our background, is providing valuable services to the real estate industry. And there are certainly other platforms that have different niches in terms of investment. In terms of the capital stack, I think that what we've found from feedback from real estate owners is that this will fit in either a debt or equity side of the capital stack, even equity that might not be primarily thought about being raised on the site. They're very interested in the site from purposes of being able to just make the whole raise process easiger.
Got it. And just lastly, where were you guys before this? You said you worked together for...
Yeah, we worked together at a company called Cassidy Turley that was sold last year.
Got it.
So what sort of developers are using you currently, and how much inventory can you find on the platform?
We just launched today, so we don't have projects. We have projects in the pipeline that we'll be launching in the next few weeks.
So let me ask you, the 8 million accredited investors that you're talking about,
Yep.
Really think about who are you going after? You're going after kind of like the people that you saw in there were people that probably aren't experienced real estate investors, right? So are you kind of going after that crowd? They have money, they've really never done this before. And, because people who are very experienced real estate investors, they probably don't need this, right? They can go direct and get in very early stage. So are you thinking, I think this goes back to what you were saying, is it for less experienced investors and you've got like that last mile, I've got to fill like that last tranche, and that's how I'm going to market and position this thing, or where are you going with it?
Well, I think that even the sophisticated real estate investor, the online transaction management process will start moving owners to even including all of their capital stack in this. But the other tranche, so to speak, of people who haven't invested in real estate and opening up real estate to other people, I think will be, I wouldn't call them unsophisticated investors, because again, it is limited to accredited investors. And real estate is an asset class that, at least compared to some other things like private equity or venture capital, it's a hard asset. And with the right transparency, It's an asset class that people can come to understand very easily. In fact, that really is our background in a real estate service business, is bringing owners, investors, users together and developing transparency, and that's a big part of what we're
Lisa, let me ask you, your pitch to a real estate developer, are you going to say to them, you can actually fund your development X%, like we can save you 3 months, we can save you 6 months. What's the pitch?
The pitch is that we will save time, we will save money, and we will make the transaction much easier, because you're able to deliver now either to people that you know or to new investors the information in an online environment that, in the past was lunches, big books, a very analog process.
So for you, the value add is really about the services that you're providing.
The value add is services. It is a service-oriented platform.
How do those services get productized, or is there a client service component to this as well?
Yeah, great question. No, there's definitely a client service component both around workflow, around market, around helping real estate owners market their opportunities and get broad exposure, understanding just how to showcase a property.
Am I correct in believing you guys already have relationships with a lot of the people you're going to be trying to sell with? And also, is there any technology you have that other people don't have that's more unique?
Yeah, we're building the models for each of the projects. It is really very intensely focused on the type of real estate. So really looking at the things that are, as I said, critically important to an office building or a shopping center or a multifamily project, and really trying to bring to the forefront those issues that sophisticated real estate investors actually understand, because they've done it a lot of times, but really highlighting and educating investors around what's really critical and important in an investment.
Any other questions? All right, we're about out of time. Thank you very much to Selequity.
Thank you.
You got it. All right.